Hey everyone, off the Mike Sports Network here. Happy Conference Championship Sunday. But I wanted to get this out there before the games start. In regards to the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel like this has been a hot button issue for most of the week. Adam Schefter of ESPN, great reporter, but he's gone off the deep end with this reporting. Basically, that the NFL replay assist is going to look into, correcting, flags, and basically framed it around Patrick Mahomes and what happened in the divisional round against the Houston Texans. And listen, I'm just going to come right off the top with this. Whoever wins this game, I'm going to be happy for. I have no ill will against either one of these teams, Buffalo or Kansas City. But I fundamentally do not understand all of the hate that the Kansas City Chiefs get. Is it Taylor Swift? Is it Travis Kelce? Is it they win all the time? This is one of the most likable dynasties of modern time in sports because we've always had an issue with dynasties of, okay, yeah, they win all the time, but okay, there was also something inherently wrong with said dynasty that we didn't like. With the Patriots, they cheated. Tom Brady got suspended for deflating footballs. Bill Bell, the Spygate thing. We didn't like the Patriots because they cheated. The Warriors got Kevin Durant, the second best player in the NBA, to add to their already 73 win team. And I hated them on some level because I was a Cleveland Cavaliers fan and I still am, but during the time, the Cavs were the biggest threat to the Warriors and had just beaten them for the championship. And the Warriors went out and got Kevin Durant and then won 2 championships right after that. With the Chiefs, what issue is there? They get all the calls? First of all, that's factually inaccurate. There's data to prove that that's not right. Yes, there was 2 calls in that game that were borderline questionable, but they're not bad guys. And then you look at where this team was when they first started this thing back in 2019, and then there was 2020 when they won the Super Bowl. Tyreek Hill was on this team, their number one receiver. Tyreek Hill is now in Miami. Their running back, Kareem Hunt, went around the bend, left Kansas City, went to Cleveland, now is back in Kansas City, a much better man. Um, I'm trying to think off the top of my head some of the L'Jarius Sneed, who was on this team a year ago, was their best defensive back, gets traded to Tennessee. This team has won in spite of losing people, and they continue to get better. Eric Bieniemy was thought to be the mastermind. He left to go other places. Matt Nagy left to go other places. Like, they've lost coordinators. They've cycled through players. They've done different things. They've done great drafting. This is everything that is right with sports in building your team and being able to persevere through circumstances. Just because they get calls or something, or Patrick Mahomes may be annoying, or Travis Kelce is dating the number one pop star in the world and one of the most recognizable people, and you may not like Taylor Swift. My sister doesn't like Taylor Swift. That's not a reason to dislike the Kansas City Chiefs. That has nothing to do with football. Like, this Chiefs hatred makes zero sense because you have to have some reason from a sports perspective to not like this team. Like with other dynasties that we've seen, like even with the Spurs. Actually, the Spurs actually might be more like the Chiefs than anything because, yeah, Spurs didn't cheat. They were just boring. They're just boring. And the Chiefs, you know what? They just continue to win no matter how. And some people say, oh, they were lucky this season. It was like, you know what? They went 15-2 this season. They only lost one game legitimately because the second game that they lost was at the end of the year where they just rested everybody. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean that, there's some sort of, like indictment against, the sport of football. Like, if the Chiefs win another championship, it's going to be, it's first of all, it's going to be downright historic. Nobody's ever three-peated in the history of the NFL, which is remarkable. Patrick Mahomes is going to end up being the GOAT, even though despite he is and to add on to all these things, Patrick Mahomes is a multiple-time MVP. He had probably statistically his worst season ever. I don't think he got elected to the Pro Bowl, yet he is in position to go to another Super Bowl. And the Chiefs, since he became the starter, They have only missed the Super Bowl twice. Twice. First year where he lost to Tom Brady in that overtime game at Arrowhead, and then where they blew that game against the Bengals. I think it was 21 or 22. I can't remember. But just because they get all the calls and maybe you're a 49ers fan or whatever, but despite being like they're completely different from other dynasties. And this whole Taylor Swift and like I just can't do it anymore with this whole, oh, they're rigging the games to get the Chiefs. It's like, really? Really? They're rigging the games for the Chiefs? What good does that do? What good does that do the NFL when you have redundancy? The NFL is at its highest watch point maybe ever. So what are we doing, people? Come on. And then this Adam Schefter thing just feeds the narrative even more. It's not Patrick Mahomes' fault that there's a rule and you're kind of taking advantage of it a little bit in terms of like protecting the quarterback. And also officiating has really been, subpar for a while in terms of officiating specifically the quarterback position. And despite how these calls seem like they're going, the data shows that the Chiefs do not get all the calls. So that is a bogus narrative. So for anybody who's rooting against the Chiefs, you may have your reasons. I just don't think that they're valid. That's just my opinion. You guys can disagree with me, and I've seen a lot of, vitriol and reaction to my take from last week about how they're not rigging the games, and it kept coming to be the same thing. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, it literally happened, and you're seeing all these things, and they get lucky, and it's like, you guys, you need to give me an actual legitimate reason why this is a problem. It's not. I actually think it's good for the NFL. I think this is one of the most likable dynasties. Andy Reid is a likable coach. Patrick Mahomes is a likable superstar. Travis Kelce is a likable superstar. Even though some of you just can't stand the fact that they panned to Taylor Swift a million times. It's like, I understand that, to some people, Taylor Swift can be annoying, but she's the most recognizable pop star in the world. But that's not the reason why they're rigging calls. If you think it's because of Taylor Swift, that's stupid. So anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.